It's time for the percolator. It's time for the percolator. It's time for the Oh, I'm out of water. Well, I'll get after this video. Welcome back to another Easy Mind reaction, guys. Today we are reacting to the channel Psych to Go. Title being 6 Things Only INFJ Can Relate to. And if you don't know, INFJ is referring to the personality type. I guess I don't know either because I forgot.
I don't know.
INFJ is intuitive. Intuitive. I don't know. Dang. Something, feeling, and judgment. We just took a test. I might upload this all on the same day, but we took a test and past reaction, 2 reactions ago. This reaction, if I'm remembering correctly how I'm going to set it up, because I haven't uploaded it yet, but it was a reaction where I took the test and I stopped it, and then I read over the answers from the test, and then now we're reacting to this video, which basically stumbled upon, which I'm reading here right now, but I didn't realize that the personality type in which I got from the test is the rarest personality type there is apparently in the world, constituted by only 1% of the population. Because of this, INFJs usually feel like they are misunderstood by other personality types. We made this video to remind you that we've got you and understand you. And, you know, it's a great feeling to be understood, of course. So, let's see if they... oh, well, we have a timeline here, but I'm not gonna do too much. I just want to get into the video. I think it'll be exciting to learn more about myself, as always. But if you know your personality type, leave it in the comment below. You know, let me know what personality type you are, different traits which are associated with your personality types. Because, like I said, I love to read things like that. But captions on 110. Okay, sorry guys, I'm a little tired. I just woke up from a nap, and decided, you know, let's get to work. But anyways,
hey Psych2Goers.
What's good?
Do you struggle to build deeper connections with others? Are you looking for ways to connect with people beyond the surface level? Today's video is sponsored by SoSynced, a place that can match partners' personality types based on the 16 personalities model. You can access it by clicking the link below. Hey Psych2Goers, welcome back to another video. Do you feel that your personality type is INFJ?
You just took a test?
The INFJ personality type stands for introversion,
I'm
intuition,
dumb.
feeling, and judging. It's the rarest personality type and makes up only 1% of the total population. Because of this, INFJs usually feel like they're misunderstood by other personality types. Therefore, this video will be addressing 6 things only INFJs understand.
Oh, man. I'm trying to read
only
that.
INFJs understand.
MBTI, which is referring to the Myers-Briggs test, is a personality inventory designed to roughly identify a person's personality type into 16 categories. It may not be accurate for everyone, so take it as rough tendencies than strict classifications. Indubitably. This video's intention is to provide light. Okay.
INFJs always care. Do you find that you always care about those around you who need help? Okay. You will always care for people to the point where you're willing to risk your own well-being in the process because of INFJ's strong sense of personal integrity and drive to help others. As such, you will frequently find yourself in situations where you choose to help others while sacrificing or neglecting something that you want to do. This will make you someone that is extremely valued by others. However, people may take advantage of this personality trait and make you sacrifice yourself to satisfy their needs and wants. Number 2.
Okay. Well, I'm just going to try, because this is a short video, so I'm going to try to speak on these traits as they finish talking about them, and just try to talk about how much I relate to them. But for the first one about always caring, me personally, I do have that strong sense to take care of the people around me and, you know, adhere to their problems, and whenever, you know, call my name and I'm there and all that. But you know, speaking to my father and him trying to, you know, be a father, giving me advice, uh, told me to like be conscious, of that desire, of that sense to kind of help all those around you. And that's something I really had to work on, especially in the past year, as 2022 is 2022. Yeah. 2022 is coming to a close. I think that's something I could reflect on where I took it upon myself to say no a bit more often than I liked because, as the video is referring to and as I do relate to that sense, I'm always wanting to help those around me, but, it comes at a sacrifice in a sense. If you're not doing something for yourself, you're doing something for others. And if you're not doing something for others, you're doing something for yourself. And it can be looked at that in such way. And so I had to kind of have to find a balance because growing up, I was always doing stuff for other people. And I guess I was able to do that because I didn't really need to pay too much attention to myself. I guess there was just a knack of things, working well for me or working in order for me. And so I don't know, I don't know the reason. I could look into it more, but I'm not going to try to say something stupid as I just woke up and my mind's still processing and revving up. But yeah, I feel like that's how much I relate to that. I do relate to it, but like I said, I'm getting better at saying no.
And make you sacrifice yourself to satisfy their needs and wants. Number 2, feeling lonely in a group.
Yeah.
Do you feel lonelier when you're with other people than when you're by yourself? This may sound contradictory, but it's one of the things that only INFJs will understand. Of course, it's important to understand the difference between lonely and alone. INFJs are known to be extremely intuitive and comfortable when they're alone because they're constantly self-reflecting.
Hey.
However, the same intuitive ability is what can make you constantly feel misunderstood, especially if you yourself cannot explain how you know something. This feeling of being misunderstood all the time when you're with a group of people is what makes you feel lonely in a group. Number 3.
Okay, so on that part, I can't remember what they said. Oh yeah, always feeling lonely in the group. I get that feeling a lot. And actually, I'm looking at number 3 right now. This is what my father, I'm not gonna say hates, but what he greatly dislikes about me, how, I continuously self-sabotage me. But we're not there yet. We're talking about how I feel lonely, not how but INFJs, which I relate to, feel lonely in a group. And that does happen a lot, especially when, well, not especially, but, when I'm out with the guys, we do activities for a while, and then after a while, people refer to it as like a social battery kind of draining, and mine tends to drain quickly than others. Although I will say, like, as I said in the past reaction, the group that I have with now, I'm surrounded by great people who, over the time, it's kind of gotten better to the point where, how do I explain this? Like, I'm not gonna say I always want to be with them as opposed to, being alone, being by myself, but I take a liking to being around them now because I feel like there's this likeness between all of us and this closeness that I really appreciate, and I think it's a space in which I feel I could be vulnerable in. And so, who doesn't want to be, in a space where they can not only be themselves, but be themselves with loved ones. So yeah, but yeah, no, I do relate to that second trait as well. There was something else I wanted to say. It crossed my mind, but
You're with a
quickly
group of
forgot it.
people is what makes you feel lonely in a group. Number 3, self-sabotage. Do you have the tendency to overthink things so much that you end up spoiling a
I
happy
think this is a
moment?
lot of people.
INFJs have the tendency to always dig deep past the surface level of things. This tendency can ruin happy moments for you, since you'll often think that for every good thing, there should be something bad. This train of thought will eventually lead you to put down your own success and accomplishments. And the worst thing is that even the simplest and most innocent thoughts can spiral out of control and become a huge obstacle in the way of your happiness. We talked about the importance of your potential partner being attentive and remembering the little things, which is why SoSynced.
Okay, so they get into ad mode right now. Not cool. But anyways, yeah, on self sabotage, I can't count on I can't count them many times in which I've kind of washed away the goodness of a moment. The one moment that pops out to me is my mother's birthday. It was last year, I believe. We went to, where we go, Cheesecake Factory. You know, it was a little dinner with her and her friends or whatnot. But for some reason, through the dinner, as everyone, you know, had a smile on their face and whatnot, was enjoying the time, some thought came across my mind. I can't remember exactly what the thought was right now, but I just remember pondering upon that thought, and you know, it played within the context of the moment, and you know, but it was just something that kind of just darkened my mood for the time being, and I wasn't really able to enjoy the moment, and that's something I have looked to be more conscious about as I'm going through times and enjoying myself, and I think that's why, especially now more than ever, I take a liking to my group of friends, because something in which I'm learning from them, which I think I've explained to them at some points, but you know, I don't open up too much about that, but you know, it is what it is. But anyways, they've allowed me, or they've taught me to enjoy the moment, you know, whilst I'm in the moment, and because a lot of times I get anxious about the future, or maybe something I get a something within a now kind of make something click in memory, and I'll start thinking about the past, and all these thoughts start rambling about in my head, and I kind of get lost in the moment, and I forget about what's going on. And then a lot of people view me, they either think I'm sad or mad, or they see me deep in thought. A lot of times, my good friend Ben, he asked me, like, you know, Ben in other people, everybody friend, they're like, you know, what you thinking, or like what you got on your mind, or like, you know, because everyone knows that I'm constantly in thought, and I'm constantly working some problem in my head. That was the big thing playing basketball. Everyone's like, you look like you're solving a math problem while I was playing basketball. Everyone just, did I just repeat myself twice? I feel like I was about to repeat myself twice. But yeah, basically that's the point. But that's something I'm getting better at, you know? I'm learning to be more in the moments. A lot of the achievements which I've achieved in the past, I think I'm starting to, I'm look back on them as recent, and I've given the, I guess, right amount of appraisal I think that it lacked when I first achieved it. You know, I had a hard time actually enjoying the things I had done. But anyways, let's get back to the video.
Could be the
Skip
right
this
app for you.
ad.
They pair couples who have the right amount of similarities to get each other, and just the right amount of differences to create that spark
Whatever.
for deeper, meaningful dating. Upon taking the personality test, you discover your personality, such as INFJ, so thoughtful, or ENFP, so curious. Once you've mutually liked each other, you can start messaging. Here are what some people using the app have said. Lily, INFJ, said, I didn't expect to find love so fast. Our personality types will be tattooed on me somewhere. And Indy,
wow.
ENFJ, said, matching people using personality types is such a simple and powerful concept. So Synced helped us find love, even in this difficult time. You've really changed our lives. In fact,
This reminds me of an app idea I had, I'd say like 8 months ago, or 9 months ago. I had talked to my father about it. I wrote down the plans and whatnot, and I actually had plans to learn how to code. And I was thinking about building an app myself, but then I also had another discussion with my father, and I think I get, you know, too many ideas, and I get too carried away with things, and I don't really complete projects. So just a lot of things I have to look to be conscious about, as I guess as an INFJ, which I don't get carried away with, and you know, I lose my footing. So, but yeah, no, I had it was called a Like Us. It was gonna group people together based off not only personality types, but also, what was it? Because I think one of the problems that I was thinking about, or was trying to deal with, was mental issues. I say mental issues, but what's the politically right term? You know, individuals with just mental disease, mental sufferings. It's not sufferings, but you know, like ADD or ADHD or those different types of things. I can't think of the word right now, but it's going to be based off that, or it's going to be sexual disease, sexually transmitted diseases. People that might be what is it, infected with an STD of some sort. Just basically an app used to do its best to kind of put people in the same groupings. Put people who are alike. That's why it was called a like us. Put people in the same groupings and kind of match them together. It was going to be not so much a dating app, but more so like a friends app. Just finding people alike, and because that's one thing that I guess to say a problem I had dealt with, and one thing my father always told me: figure out a problem that you have, try to find a solution for it, and then you can turn it into a business or whatnot. My dad has a business mindset. I just say I don't, but I'm less more business minded and more so just, solving problems. But I understand we live in a capitalistic environment. So, why not turn your great ideas into a business? But yeah, anywho, let's get back to the video.
Fact, we're now married.
Oh, that's
Thank
crazy.
you. Make sure you check out the app in the description box.
I guess
below
I'll
for more
check it out.
details.
I'll let
We
you know how it
encourage
goes,
you to
guys.
try it out
So
and give yourself a
synced.
chance to find deeper love. Number 4, easily getting emotionally drained by others.
Bro.
How often do other people's feelings or emotions affect you? Because of your keen intuition.
I'm not even gonna let them finish. No, I'm gonna but not right then. I've tried to explain this to so many people, and I feel like I'm pretty good at explaining myself and expressing how I feel, how I think, and the idea that I have of me. But sometimes it doesn't get across. It is what it is. But this part where I guess, keen sense, keen intuition of how other people feel around you. And I don't know how they're gonna explain it, but for me, it's draining because, say for instance, I guess the awareness that's there when you're aware of how other people feel, especially as this not diagram, but this image is demonstrating with the person in the top right being at a gravestone. You see somebody sad in the moment, you see somebody mad, and then you kind of get this instinct or this reaction to kind of do what you can to help the other person. And then it's not only just being aware of one person just because you're closely related to it. It's like being aware and being inclined to the mood switches and everyone around you. And it, like, as I think it's about to say, it gets overwhelming and it gets draining. And sometimes I think that's why I spend time alone, because when I'm outside, when I'm out around other people, just taking notes of not only their, changes in mood and emotion, but picking up on social cues and all that, having to calculate all that can get extremely overwhelming. And I think it all works hand in hand, because, you're calculating all that, you're overthinking, you're putting the pieces together about other people around you and how to carry yourself in situations. And all that is extremely draining. And I think that's why individuals who fall under this personality type wish to, more often than not, be alone, because it's not much that they have to think about or process. Although self-reflection does, can be a little draining, but it's not as draining as self-reflecting whilst also talking to someone and figuring out what's going on in their mind. And then it kind of, flashes in your eyes exactly what's going on in their mind, and you're trying to help them and adapt to their situation. And yeah, so I think it all makes sense how it all works together. But yeah, here's back.
Intuition and inner senses, you will often be very quick to pick up on the emotions and feelings of others and end up adopting these emotions yourself.
Yeah.
This personality trait makes you, as an INFJ, a very powerful counselor and advocate, since you can easily understand and empathize with what other people are thinking. At the same time though, this can be emotionally draining for you because of the huge amount of emotional stimulus you are processing, especially when you're hosting strong, contrasting emotions. Number 5, rarely open.
But more on that last part. I remember my sister. I guess my sister noticed it in me as well, but maybe that's something she lacked, and that's why she had asked me. But anyways, I'm going to tell you, which I forgot what it was, but we were sitting down at a dinner table, and I was talking to her about the ways in which she addressed this. I forgot who was it. Was it a waitress? It was somebody, but she addressed somebody, and then she has this understanding of herself where when she speaks, or certain tones she uses, she's not too aware of, well, her tone. She knows she's not too aware of how she sounds or how she comes across. And I try to point these different things out to her when it happens and when I take note of it, and I see how the way she talks affects other people and how they kind of view her. And I hear it all the time actually from my friends when they be like, why does your sister sound mad? Growing up with her, her being my sister, I understand that as, she's not being mad. She's not being, aggressive. That's just, her, I guess, demeanor, her tone. But pointing out to her numerous times, eventually she had asked me, she was like, is there a way you can teach me how to like pick up on these signs, or like, what pops out to you, or what do you notice? How do you know these different, how does these, I guess different traits or different signs pop out to you? How do you know about them? And I tried to explain it. Like I said, I was like, just certain social cues or certain, changes in facial structure and all those different things of which I try to pay attention to, or I guess which pop out to me, and something else which I was trying to explain to her. But I guess certain people just have, certain people are more inclined to one things. Certain people are more inclined to one thing as opposed to the other. And, I'm pretty sure not even the fact that I'm pretty sure, like I know there are things in which my sister are more inclined to understanding or being able to adapt to than I am. And so, but yeah, that's the T, I
For
guess.
hosting strong, contrasting emotions. Number 5, rarely opening up or feeling like you've revealed too much.
Mm-hmm.
How often do you express your feelings to other people?
Not
Well,
often.
due to the introvert trait that many INFJ types have, you tend to be very reserved when it comes to expressing your opinions and feelings. Additionally, you're used to being the one helping others out, so you try not to look vulnerable. Rather than opening up whenever you feel anger or frustration, you prefer to retreat from social contact and solve everything by yourself. However, once someone gets you to open up, you will suddenly feel like saying everything going on in your mind and end up
Bro.
apologizing because you think that you're burdening them with your problems. And number 6,
See? And I think that's why, like I said, I take a great loving. It's not a liking. I take a loving to my group of friends because, like I said, I found a group of people who've created this space and have allowed which. Oh my God! Wow! Created this space which has allowed me. Lord, I need to wake up. Created a space which has allowed me to be vulnerable, to talk about these things at any given moment, and not feel like I'm burning them, or because I made it clear that I'm not looking for them to give me answers. I'm not looking for them to solve my problems. I'm not a person who, when I speak about what's going on in my life, I need people to, sit there and try to come up with solutions or come up with ideas to kind of help resolve or mitigate whatever turmoil is taking place within my life or whatever in which I'm explaining at the time. It's just I need to get off my chest. I need to vent. And so, that's understood within the group. And so it's great. It's great to have, to be able to just speak your mind and not feel as if people around you are burdened by what you have to
because
say.
you think that you're burdening them with your problems. And number 6, inner guilt. Do you constantly go over a situation where you think you could have said something different? This is most likely due to the inner guilt that you, as an INFJ, constantly feel. When you send a message to your friends, your mind automatically makes you think that you're somehow bothering them.
Bro. And that's what I be trying to tell my group of friends. Like, especially two of my friends. They're very empathetic and extroverted, I would say. Although, well, basically, here's the thing, they call me a lot, and they're always looking for me to call them and I guess reach out. But I guess even my family too as well. My mom and dad. Well, my dad doesn't do any so much anymore. I think he's come to understand the type of person I am. But my mom, she constantly gets on me. She's like, you need to call family members. You need to do this and that and the third. And it's not that I don't think about my family members, because I try to make it clear all the time, like, these people which I'm closely related to, my loved ones, are constantly in mind. Like, I think about them all the time. I'm trying to consider my relationship within our relationship within the context of their lives, and I'm trying to process all these things, and I'm thinking head into the future and trying to figure out how things are gonna look and how I'm gonna do things and in referring to, I guess, getting to a point where I'm financially able to help other people and take care of them. But yeah, but just even in instance of my friends, they're constantly calling me. They're like, you say you never call me. But I feel like I've gotten better. Not at calling, but I do text them and I do check up on them. And I say, how's things going? But we've had that discussion as well. So
Message to your friends, your mind automatically makes you think that you're somehow bothering them.
yeah,
Or when you do something that you wanted to do, you might start feeling guilty because it meant that you didn't do something others wanted you to do.
right.
Even a brief conversation can leave you wondering if what you said was right. Whatever the situation is, there is always something in your mind that makes you feel guilty. Did you relate to and understand these signs?
All these
If you are an
signs.
INFJ, you might constantly feel lonely and misunderstood because there aren't many others that can relate to these thoughts and feelings. But remember that you aren't alone. There's likely someone out there that can relate to the same struggles. If you found this video helpful or saw your
Helpful, great video, it shed more light. It shed more light on me, I guess, as an individual, on the personality trait. Yeah, not really much to say. Make sure to leave a like. Make sure to turn on post notifications. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. But like always, if you're not going to do any of that, at the very least, please do leave a comment. I would very much love to have a conversation with you guys. But no, please, yeah, leave a comment of your personality types, especially on this video, as it's what's oh my gosh, I need to wake up, as it is what we are discussing. Good day.